Hi guys, welcome back. All right, so let's get into this. I did get all of the zodiacs done, so all 13. So we got one over for Cancer on Tarot Dog. But if you guys are looking for your zodiacs, all 13 have been done today between the two channels. Quickly, let me mention that. Speaking of 13, tomorrow is October the 13th, Monday, and I will be going live on both channels and doing some storytellings for subscribers and members. So keep those notification bells turned on so you know when that happens tomorrow. And I think also on Monday, we'll be announcing the winners of the today's topic card poll, and I'll be doing a little winners storytelling as well in the today's topic. And I think that's all I needed to mention. So this is a single storyline. We start out with the Magician. We have the Knight of Swords. We have the Lovers. By the way, I'm hearing Willie Nelson help me make it through the night. We have the Knight of Cups, and we have the King of Coins. Now, in all fairness, I was singing that song before I even turned this video on, so it was already on my head. Hey, Lane Change, nice to see you. Magician brings us to Virgo, Gemini. Lovers brings us to Gemini. So we obviously have like a little dose of Gemini, and then we certainly have a Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus energy. We've got a feminine who is manifesting. Now, I never care about genders, but for right now, we're going to say we have a feminine that is manifesting a swift lover. Lover, come to me. I want somebody in my arms. Hurry it up. Quit playing games. Come here and love me. 2 nights. If you come toward me, if you drive all night to get to me, I will wrap you up. I will treat you nice. And if you want to give something real and build something with me, we can talk about that too. But we have a feminine who is like, I think she's emitting very truthfully what she wants. The real version of her is emitting the real version of, like her fantasy world is what she wants in her real world, which means she's going to get it. When we start, I always think that when we manifest something that is actually true for who we are, true for what we are, and we're not lying to ourselves, and we're pretty certain that it exists, because I know how I would genuinely behave. I want somebody in my arms now. I don't want to wait any more times. I don't want to wait for our lives to be over. I can't think who sings that. Is that Paula Cole? Now I'm also hearing Love by Paula Cole. We won't quote that one, okay? But that's a very passionate, sexy song. Yeah, definitely Paula Cole, I think, that's in my head. But now we got two songs. I would say this feminine knows darn well I don't feel any need to be hesitant or to be fearful. If a great person comes into my life, I want somebody in my real, tangible 3D world. No, I don't want it to take 3 years. I don't want somebody who's still healing. I don't want somebody who's scared to give it a whirl. Let's just do this. What's the big harm? Sometimes you can invest and you can go slow and you can do everything right. And guess what? The relationship still goes to hell in a handbasket. So at this point, if there's somebody that I like, they like me, and they're fearless and I'm fearless, let's really try to treat each other well and see how far this thing goes before the wheels fall off. I think that's where she's at. And it's just like, I'm washing my hands of all of this stress and drama and fear. I have no fear. I'm going to meet somebody hot. I'm going to give it a chance if I like them. And we'll see where this goes, because it could be amazing. She's all in. She is all in. That's what she's picturing. Hi, guys. So great to see you. 11-8, sexy Centaur Sag. Hey. I will definitely give Aries a little huggles. Seashells. Rewa. Thank you guys so much. You're so awesome. We have got a 2 of Swords and the 10 of Cups sideways. She is admitting, like, I'm going to trust, like, angels help me. Oh, God. And I need 10,000 angels watching over me tonight. Is that Mindy McCready? It's country. It's something about, like, don't let me fall into his arms again. But instead, I'm just hearing, like, don't let me fall into the wrong arms. universe, I know I can't always see exactly how anything's going to work out, but I'm going to try to have some blind trust that the wrong ones will somehow, I'll be protected from the wrong one, because I'm aiming to give my heart to the right one. So if I walk into this with fearlessness, discernment, but also an open heart, and I would be willing to treat somebody really nice, then I'm going to trust that the universe is going to have my back on this. She is aware of the pitfall. She's aware that things can go wrong. But I think it's because she's had things blow up in her face before. She's had relationships that sucked. But she doesn't want that to be the reason she doesn't have a shot at a real happy outcome. I see her as just going for it. I do not see this as a fearful person. I see this as somebody who's totally game for whatever. Seven of Swords, Seven of Cups. She is very aware. There are liars everywhere, absolutely. But that's the whole point. You don't know somebody's a liar until you figure out their lies. So why walk in and be scared and be constantly trying to uncover somebody's lies? Their lies are going to come to the surface anyway. So she's kind of like, I mean, honestly, we all lie a little bit. Was it Chris Rock who said, like when you first meet somebody, you're not meeting them, you're meeting their representative, the person who makes them look good. I think he said that in his stand-up comedy. I think it was him. And I think she's like, hey, we all do that to a certain extent. But if I'm willing to take off my mask and foster like an environment of, look, here's what I'm looking for. I'd love to have a really happy relationship. I want to laugh. I want to love. I don't want drama. I'm not going to lie to you. I just want to have a good time and hopefully maybe slip and fall in love. That would be great. I kind of think her attitude is like, there's got to be people like me, even though a lot of other people are going to be lying and they're going to be scared like me too. Still, you get beyond the fear and you give it a whirl. I just see both characters have their masks coming off and they're crossing fingers instead of like to lie, but maybe to hope. God, I hope this works. I kind of think she has a better opinion of people. Sometimes relationships don't work out. That's true. Sometimes we come to the table with our mask on and we're afraid to show our ugly. We're afraid to show our, ugly gremlin toes. I have ugly gremlin toes. I have like weird little potato toes. Like, those miniature potatoes, that's what my toes look like. They're really ugly. I don't have a hang up about them. If I did, I probably wouldn't have said anything about them, but they are ridiculously ugly. And I don't mind. They help me walk. I could care less what they look like, but they are ugly. But this is like, look, I may as well just show you my potato toes right from the gate. Like, why not? Why not just lay it on the table? I mean, maybe not your feet or your toes. I don't know. Depends on how upfront our characters want to be. With the moon sideways, I definitely feel like she's saying, I won't hide from you if you don't hide from me. It still takes some time to build some comfort zone with people, but she's walking in pretty raw and empowered, not raw and like scared, but knowing full well we all hide some stuff, but I don't really want to hide. I'd like you to just see what I am from the beginning. And if we want to spend some time together, great. If not, please run for the hills. I'll help you. I'll hold the door for you as you escape me. That's kind of the way this feels. We got a page of coins here. This is a new approach. I think she either sat down, maybe during that full moon, and she said, how can I do things different? What are the things I've never done, particularly in relationships? And she might have come up with a list of like, well, I've never been super upfront about what I wanted. I've never been super upfront and like unabashed with things that I'm shy about. I've never just laid something on the table like this before. So maybe I should try this. This sounds kind of fun. Why don't I just try doing everything I've never done before and see if I get different results? I adore this character. I think that it feels like refreshing, even if a little bit nerve-wracking still. But I think this is a truly confident person who knows that, look, I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but on the other hand, we're all somebody's cup of tea. She knows that she has worth and value as a person. She's not full of insecurities, no more so than any normal person has. She's not got a bloated opinion of herself. She's not sitting around trying to judge other people. She doesn't want high drama. She just wants a happy life. And should relationships not be joyful? When did relationships become this huge drag that always has to be full of trauma? And oh, we just have to learn lesson after lesson. She's like, F the lessons. Let's just get to the good stuff. Let's get to the gooey, yummy, nice stuff where we treat each other well. I kind of think this attitude that she's got, of like, also, I think she'd be more open to dating somebody who might not be her typical type and just seeing who they are. I think she's looking for different qualities in a person. She wants somebody she can be comfortable with. She wants somebody, like, what she finds attractive now could be very different. She might start a relationship with somebody that she says, they seem like such a decent person. And then let me see about falling for a decent person instead of starting out with, oh God, they're broody and they treat me like I don't matter. And oh, I got to go after them. I think I'm not saying she did that before. I'm just using an example, instead of starting out and expecting there to be red hot attraction, she might be saying, what I'm actually looking for is someone I'd like to get to know better, and somebody that I feel comfortable with first. Somebody that, maybe isn't this huge mystery that I have to pry open with a crowbar. Six of Cups. I want a soulmate. I want somebody more like who I actually am, instead of finding somebody that I'd have to change for, or finding someone who then I would have to change, fall for the player, but I got to get him to quit being a player because I want a long-term relationship. And it's like, look, if you don't want a player, don't go pursuing one. I think she's in that place where she's like, yeah, no thanks. I'm not a player. I don't want a player. I want someone more like me. I think this is amazing. She has just cracked the code on, like, how do you actually find the kind of relationship that you want? By knowing who you are first, knowing what really would match me. What do I really want? I want somebody that I can have a good time with. I want somebody that I feel comfortable with in my own skin, just as I am. I want someone that I'm not going to judge and try to revamp and change them from who they are into what I want. I just want somebody that's already got those baseline qualities, and then to a certain extent I can accept, the differences that we may have, just like I hope that they'll accept some of the differences that I may have from them. I feel like she is so compatible, meaning she's in a place where she really would be an amazing partner to anybody, because she's got a strong backbone and she knows who she is. She knows what her deal breakers are, but she's also not like a control freak. She's not somebody who's demanding somebody else bend to her will. She doesn't even want to find somebody that doesn't already have some baseline qualities that she's seeking. She's not trying to build a bear or build a boy, build a girl. She's not looking to build her partner. Her partner should always already be who they are, and they should just be compatible. But she's not expecting too much nor too little. Honestly, it feels amazing for this character. So let me just ask this. Does it click? Does it work? 11:08. May you find tater tots as a late night snacky. And I'm so honored that my talk of my personal potato toes inspired a hunger instead of repulsion. Oh my God, you guys cracked me up in the comments. We have got the Death card and we got the 10 of Pentacles. Will this approach work for her? Damn, Skippy. We have got an amazing reaction. She does everything different, so she gets somebody different. She gets truly a balanced partnership. She's interested in a totally different kind of person, maybe an old soul, maybe somebody who's worked really hard, maybe somebody who's very family oriented. They could work in the family business. They could be somebody who's like, well, my family has done this, this corner shop bakery. Well, this says since 48, excuse me. Yeah, that's what we do. I'm a bread baker. And it's like, maybe that doesn't sound like, ooh, so sexy. Ooh, a CEO of a Fortune 500 company that jumps out of airplanes and blah, blah, blah. No, this is somebody who's like really like family oriented, community oriented, works really hard, total stand-up person. This is the everyday hero. This is the stuff real heroes are made of. Real life, day-to-day life is freaking hard. And the people that do day-to-day life and are there for their families and are stand for something and are consistent, those are freaking heroes. I really think she's getting the most high quality partner, or she will meet the most high quality partner. Queen of Cups and the Magician. This is not like somebody who doesn't have their own dreams or their own, other aspirations or things like that. But I'm going to say the two of them together, what they could build could be amazing, because she's meeting somebody, she's attracting somebody very different than who she used to, somebody very stable, somebody with a lot to offer that they've already built, but is also somebody that would be great in a partnership. Because, I mean, imagine if two very stable people join forces, they just doubled their stability. They just doubled their skill sets. They just doubled two amazing brains that can now put their heads together. And if they're compatible, instead of looking at each other as like enemies, or looking at each other as, like, I don't trust you, I want to play games with you and make you, become who I want you to. Instead, these two would like respect each other, respect one another's opinions, put their heads together and build more. I think he's like, oh my God, this is the perfect like dream, in this case, dream woman. She's an old soul too. You notice how both of them have come across as looking very youthful and then also elderly. I would say that maybe these two have always felt a little out of place. Like, I know you're supposed to be youthful and you're supposed to do all this dating and you're supposed to play all these games and you're supposed to be, have you got to have game and you got to do stuff in this more modern way, and you got to text somebody and wait 3 days to text them back, and you got to Netflix and chill, and you got to, I don't want that. It never clicked. Like, that's what it feels like. Like, both of them are much more like, I'd rather not play any games and just get to a good relationship where we can begin building, because I've got bigger plans for what I want to do with my time on this earth. And I think that these two are basically mature. We can call them old souls, but I think the same things that he's loving about her, she could be a bit of a visionary. And he's like, this is perfect. This is somebody who has all kinds of ideas, and I can share those ideas with her. Oh, these two have so much to talk about. I think that these two will talk about hopes, dreams, aspirations. I feel like their conversations will never be dull, never get old. I feel like they'll spitball things together, bounce interesting ideas. I think they have real dialogue. This is not going to be a relationship based off of like sexting innuendos to each other. It's going to be a relationship about, we actually converse. We have ideas. We have things we want to build. That is never, this relationship will never get old. This relationship will never break apart, because they're going to continuously feed each other's like intellectual side. And then there's also the companionship, the romance, the passion. I would say this is perfect. This is such a great way for her to have done romance differently this time. Hanged Man, Six of Pentacles. And you know what? If it took her some time to get into this headspace, if it took him some time to meet her, and that's okay. It was so worth the wait. I don't think that these two have, had much luck with relationships, and it says it doesn't matter. That this is so worth the wait. It's like if you order really terrific food takeout and they're like, look, we can get you the food, but it's going to be 55 minutes. Somebody said this to me the other day. I was calling to just go pick it up, and I was like, it's worth it. I'll be there in an hour. I'll wait an hour and a half if you need me to, but I'll be there. And so just give me the time and don't stress about it. It's like something good is worth waiting for. That's exactly what this is. These two are, they've perfected something in themselves, in their life. It was so well worth the wait. That's beautiful. 11D8, you are so adorable. Oh my God. 11D8. Thank you, sweetheart. Happy tater totting. Thank you for your beautiful gift. You guys are adorable. Sweet, you're cracking me up. A whole new meaning to potatoes. You guys are awesome. 11, I love this one too. I was rooting for these characters all this way. Maria, so nice to see you, darling. Thank you for hanging with us tonight. Gee, awesome to see you. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Myra, isn't it? I'm so sorry. Forgive me. I said Maria. It's Myra. Thank you, Myra. Geminis, nice to see you. Thank you, sweet. That was Mindy McCready. Hi, baby. You want to come up? You can come say hi. Come here. My baby wants me. So I have to still go shopping tonight at the all-night grocery store because that's the only chance I had this weekend, but that's all right. I am gonna, and Aries knows, he knows. I told him we have to go shopping tonight. Aries goes everywhere I go, so. Tracy, you sweetheart. I'll tell him you said hi. Oh, Myra, I love the new place. I absolutely love it. I'm so happy. It's been, actually, I have to say, I've never, like not liked the choices that I made, for places that I've lived, but this is the happiest I think I've ever been. This feels more like a home to me, actually, which is strange because I didn't know that I didn't feel like the other places I had were homes. I don't know what is different. I actually still can't put my finger on what feels different. But it's really nice. I mean, there's definitely some bonuses, like there's pros and cons to any place, right? I found that having a cactus outside my walkway is a big issue. But I would say, I don't know. I don't know if it's the place that I'm in my life, if that's why it feels more like home, or something just feels like I'm supposed to be right where I'm at. And I don't really think everything else always felt transitional. I knew I wasn't staying that long, a couple of years, sometimes it was like 6 years, sometimes it was like 2 years, 3 years, but this actually feels like it clicks. So I don't know what else to say about that, but it's nice. So anyway, you guys, so much love to all of you. I will see you guys tomorrow. Hey, Violet, Raw Mafia, nice to see you. Thank you guys so much for hanging with me. Hi, Kins. I almost missed you there. All right, I'm going to go do some shopping, and then I will see you guys tomorrow, and we'll do some storytellings for members and subscribers. So keep your notification bells on. In the early morning when I post the first video of the day, I will let you guys know what the timing will be when I'll be going live, because I'll have figured that out by then. So, all right, you guys, lots of love. Bye for right now.